I would put Kanye's beats up against anybody's shit. Like, Kanye had fucking smoke. Never, 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 never changed. That's Kanye with that shit.
That's Jay-Z on here. One of Jay-Z's cronies. I don't even remember who it was. Vince Bleak or Beanie Sigel. One of them. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? If you don't know the impact of On My Block,
I don't waste a rhyme. You know, if I took time to write to it, then there's something there somewhere. And yeah, I do ride. I do a lot of riding when I'm recording because I wanna listen to this. You know, I want to see where this could be stronger. If I need to change a word here, I'll change that word there. You know what I mean? And when I'm doing my shit, I don't give a fuck what nobody else is singing in here. I know how I want my shit to sound. You make you sound however the fuck you want to make you sound. But me, I want to sound like that.
What up, y'all? We're here, another Raptors recommendation, baby. It is a segment of my channel where my producer, Sam Raptor, recommends an album or project that I review and check out. Talk about its place in hip-hop today, what it was back then. This week, we are doing Scarface, The Fix, the classic album from your boy, from the Ghetto Boys. Let's get it.
I feel like the greatest. When I see the hate escalating, I know that I made it. I feel like the greatest. Trader, cause I done upgraded. They throwing that shade and I feel like the greatest. Man, it's amazing to see that I got y'all waiting. I feel like the greatest. Waiting to hate it, I love it. As long as you judge it, I feel like the greatest. Trying to tear me down, that means I'm upright. Trying to scare me now, yeah, you tough, right? Time for letting loose, you way too uptight. Mad cause I found a way to love life.
So Scarface is a part of the Ghetto Boys, and the Ghetto Boys are a part of one of my favorite movies of all time. We're talking Office Space, man.
I can't say nothing, baby. I've got my pistol point cocked, ready to link shots non-stop until I see your monkey ass drop. And let your homies know who done it. Cause when it comes to this gangster shit, you motherfuckers know who run it. We standing up for our own shit. And if you want this motherfucker to the test, you gotta realize something, nigga. You fucking with the very best. I got this killer up inside of me. I can't talk to my mother, so I talk to my diary.
They're basically the whole soundtrack for that movie, and I love it. I love every part of the soundtrack there. Really increased the Ghetto Boys, in my opinion, for someone like me who, like, you know, just really listened to Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster, you know, and like was just listening to like their main hits, you know, but like you can dive deep into the Ghetto Boys by just listening to the Office Space soundtrack. So highly recommend it. I love that about this movie. I love that about the Ghetto Boys. Scarface has always been the frontman of the Ghetto Boys, and he went off to do his own solo thing and eventually came across this album, The Fix, which is, if you don't know the impact of On My Block, the song, the single for this album, I mean, you don't really understand how much this song influenced your favorite rappers, influenced people coming up, influenced me. The whole culture changed when they heard this song.
Statements that I want to make with those come lines, I call them come lines at the beginning of these records, because that sets the tone for every word and bar that comes after. You know, you got to set this up. Those come lines, to me, mean everything to the song, because that's how you capture the listener's attention. When you say something, be like every day like the same old thing. Oh shit.
And I'm not even playing. This was like Sunday morning, waking up, it's a good day. That was the vibe that this song gave, and it was really needed at the time. Had a lot going on. So I mean, when I say that the impact of that song alone is crazy, you know. I mean, everyone should understand that before I even talk about the album. The On My Block song was crazy impactful, and Guess Who's Back did really well as well. That's Jay-Z on here, one of Jay-Z's cronies. I don't even remember who it was, Vince Bleak or Beanie Sigel, one of them. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? I'm sorry. I'm just saying, it really doesn't. But Jay-Z is on the song, and he even has Nas on the song In Between Us. So he has Jay-Z and Nas not too far from the era when they was beefing. So it's like, this is legendary in itself.
We're playing Jay-Z would say go to the next one. He plays the next one. He play, and he'll start vibing to a beat. And then he'll be like, and he'll look at you and go, ooh. Ooh. And he'll go later shit. Like that fucking, it's over. That's Jay-Z. You sit there and, ooh. Ooh. And he'll go. He gonna lay that shit down. Like, Jay-Z and I exchanged a lot of records. And the cool thing about it is he was on the fix, man. I wanted to get Jay-Z and Nas on my album at that time because they were feuding. And that was kind of like that circle with Peace. Like, let me bring these two together on a record and show the world that it's just rap. You feel me? I think that Nas wrote his verse to that record first. I have the actual footage of me listening to Nas and making that beat when he was in the vocal booth recording it. And I was in there like, damn. Yeah, that's how he is to me. Like, Nas is like, dot. You know, just start naming shit. A masterful MC. And why they were feuding, that's not my business. You know, I wanted to make the dopest fucking record that I can make, and I feel like to make the dopest fucking record that I can make, I would have to have two of the best MCs of all time on that shit. And it's unity between me and Jay, and it's unity between me and Nas. So here I'm extending my hand, and we reaching out to each other here.
You know, he got him on the same album. Two of the best rappers at the time. He got them on the same album. It's a classic album. This is a classic album. And listening to this album, man, there are things that are dated in it that really do bother me in terms of like the beat maybe not changing a little bit, and then like a little bit of just choices that would be done with boom bap hip hop that wouldn't be done today necessarily, because it would be considered maybe boring. You know, just having a straight beat and having Scarface go over it is cool. I love it. I still love it. But like the newer generation isn't gonna let that fly with just a boom bap record, I feel. But yeah, this is a hard album to judge for me because it is so much of a classic album and is so much, and Scarface is so much of a classic artist that, you know, I really love Scarface, the Ghetto Boys, and this album back in the day. So I mean, it's hard for me to keep my bias in check, you know what I'm saying? It also has issues where its choruses aren't enough for me now. You know, when I was listening to the Nas song In Between Us, I mean, back then when I originally heard it, I was like, yeah, this dope song. I love it, man. You got two classes. You know, I was also on Nas' side during the Nas and Jay-Z beef, so I was more like listening to Nas part, like, yeah, man, this is it right here. And listening to Jay-Z's like, you know, it's all right. You know, but I would say that the chorus just it needs a little bit more umph. She has an interesting voice, but it's something missing from the hooks and choruses in general in this album, but specifically with that song as well. In the Nas one in between, you know, that I really think that the choruses are just a product of the time, and that the beats are just a product of the time. But if I'm being honest and holding it up to today's standards, there's a little something missing there. Is it still a classic album? Yeah. Is it no longer a 9 for me? No, it's not a 9 for me. It's more likely going to be like a 7.5. Freya, quiet, bad baby. This is my life.
I would put Kanye's beats up against anybody's shit. Like, Kanye had fucking smoke. Never changed. That's Kanye with that shit. In Cold Blood on the Fix album, that's Kanye with that shit. Yeah, Kanye did the original Heaven, and the original Heaven sounds like the back part of Heaven, all the way through. But I just thought it would be just ingenious for us to take those two songs and put them together. I don't know how I met Nottz, but I know that Daryl was his manager, and they were adamant about getting me to Virginia, and he played that fucking Keep Me Down record, and I laid that on the spot, and that was just, just out my head onto my pad and out my head and just thinking and going for it. I remember going to Virginia Beach and fucking with the Neptunes. I know we recorded it, and then he had a lady on it first that sung it first. I don't remember her name. I'm sure Pharrell remembers her name because she was from Virginia Beach. That was the only song that I got. It wasn't a B CD from Pharrell. Pharrell and his partners handcrafted that shit. Needless to say, it turned out to be big. It was a big record. T-Mix from Suave House, man. T-Mix is an extraordinary producer. He did the first half of the Heaven beat. But I wanted to intertwine those two records.
So Scarface has a tone and inflection in his voice that's very preachy, and I love that about it because it sounds like he's preaching a sermon to you when he's rapping a lot of times. I really dig that about his voice and his cadence, the way he flows on pretty much all of his songs. He really has a different approach than most MCs would have, I'd say. So then we have songs like Someday, In Heaven, and even On My Block, where he's talking like real talking about real issues, not just talking about the regular things that rappers talk about. And this is in 2002 when all that was at its highest peak in terms of just talking about BS a lot of times. I mean, there's a lot of BS out there at that time. And so hearing this and hearing Scarface was very refreshing at that time. But I'm not going to lie, man, it almost like Scarface is always under the radar. I feel like he is one of them underrated MCs that just don't get the acclaim that they deserve. My favorite Scarface song is the one he had with Nas again, Favor for a Favor. That's probably my favorite one, if not On My Block from this album. On My Block I just can't talk about that song enough because it is absolutely legendary tier status in terms of a song alone. All right. But the album around this is really good too. So, but it does have those issues where like things are just like a little bit drier than they would have been in 2002 now. 25 years later doesn't hit the same as much anymore. So, I mean, I gotta say, I like it, but I don't absolutely love it anymore. It's a 7.5. It's like really good, but it's not like amazing for me anymore the way it was when I heard it with my so I had to take off my nostalgia glasses and my bias bivocals, you know what I'm saying? So and really look at this as it is as an album. So that's my take on it, man. Let me know, is the Fix Scarface a classic album for you still? I mean, go and listen to it now. You're going to find you have similar issues to what I had. So let me know what y'all think about that. Peace.
I put 10 and then intro, outro, make it 12. That's a full body. The intros just set the tone for what the rest of the album's going to be like. And that was me singing on the Fix. That was me singing. In the beginning of the Fix, that was me. I never put this out, man, because this was so fucking mean.
Hello? Hey, how you doing?
What's up? Hey, turn the TV down.
Just wanted to let you know that
Can y'all hear that shit?
Zion meet you.
I'm gonna call you back.
You always tell me you're gonna call me back and you don't.
I'll call you back. I remember when we first met, this shit was a go. She was a friend of a friend's friend. I met at the show. Bright skin, cold black.
It's a badass song.
Deep down, I can feel it. This bra wasn't right.
I wasn't trying to fall in love with this bitch.
Was looking for some company.
Something gushy and snug for the dick.
Then I saw her backstage.
Now she up in my room.
Took a shower, stepping out.
Position is soon. Ass naked on the bed, all across the spread.
She was cold on the head.
I mean, this girl was a med. Them had told me what her name was, so I'm calling her Red.
It was later when I found out.
This bra was a fed. She cut a deal with the government to get out some shit. But the biatch snitch. When I heard it, yo, that's a badass song, man. That's a badass song, but that's a totally different subject. But that the drums and the doo 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 doo. That's all me, baby.